Brandi, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing very well, very well. You ready to have a great interview?
Yeah, let's do this. It should be fun. Can you hear me okay through the microphone?
Yeah, just speak up a little and closer. We'll be fine.
All right. I mean, I might have a volume control on this. Let me take a look here.
Right,
Like,
right. So I'm
I'm
going to
still,
open up.
still getting used
Well,
to it.
all right, on. So let me open the show and let's get to the interview. All right.
All right. Good.
All right. All right, everybody. Welcome back to the No Cover TV podcast. That's right. I'm your host, Big Al, and I take that original, local, and national music and I shove it in your face. You need to hear it. There's some great music out there all around the world, all genres, all age groups. And I feel it's just a bottom of my heart, the pleasure to bring you the story and the music from these musicians. And I've been doing it from 97 on, from TV to DJ, now podcast. You're not getting rid of Big Al. You got to hear the music. You got to hear the story. You got to check out the bands. So use my three favorite words. Support, support, support your artists. Go to the shows, pay the cover charge if there is one, move right to the swag table, get the CD, the album, the t-shirts, the sweaters, the hats, the keychains, the bumper stickers. Oh my, it goes on. Then get to the stage, have a good time with the show, and after the show, meet up with the band and introduce yourself because they like that. Because these artists are doing what they do because of the love of the music and putting a smile on your face. And in return, you're putting a smile on the artist's face. It's good stuff. Good stuff. So we've got a great show for you today. Can't wait to get to this artist. Oh, we've got a lot to talk about. In the house today is multi-award-winning artist, amazing artist. She does rock, R&B, pop, blues, you name it. Oh, yeah. We're going to talk to the one and only Brandi Wyne. How you doing out of Seattle, Washington, even?
I'm doing great today. Thanks so much for having me.
Well, I'm glad you were able to come on the show. I know we had a little hiccup, but we made it.
Yeah, it happens. It's all good.
It does. It does. Technical difficulties, we call that. So you're over there on the West Coast in Seattle.
Yes, that is correct. And we actually have sun today. I'm
You have
almost
sun today.
indisposed.
Been there a couple times. Love the city. Beautiful city. Yes, it is. So we have a lot to cover, Brandi.
Well, what would you like to start with, sir?
Oh, where am I going to start? Oh boy, you didn't want to ask me that. Okay. First of all, we're not going to talk about the music. We'll talk about you. I want to get in your head. Can I do that?
Yeah, of course.
All right. Let
I'm
me
no
get in
book,
there.
but let me warn you, there's a little bit of chaos in there. So good luck sorting through it.
All right. Well, let's sort through the chaos. Maybe we'll even talk about it. Who knows? I'm going to bring you back in time. All right. Now, I've read your bio and things like that. So I'm going to take you back to about 15 years old. Okay. You're listening to music at that time. What would it be? What were you listening to?
Oh goodness. Mariah Carey. I think Paula Abdul was still putting some stuff out then.
Oh,
Christina
yeah.
Aguilera. Who else? Whitney Houston. Whatever my parents forced me to still listen to. Lots of stuff. I like pretty much all music. Because I feel like there's something you can pull from just about any type of music genre and appreciate. Now that doesn't mean I can perform all of them, but I do appreciate them.
Okay. Now, at that age, were you singing? Were you in choir, church, or school or anything?
Oh yeah. No, I've been singing since I was 5. So let's see. If I was 15 years old, that would put me in junior high school. So so that time I was in choir, I was in chamber strings orchestra, show choir, snuck into a few karaoke shows.
Okay.
And then, the normal stuff, goofing off and singing with my friends, in the car. And
Oh, yeah. Nice. Well, so you were having fun with it at that age. So let's climb the ladder a little bit. What age did you decide you wanted to get serious in the music business?
Well, I thought I might enjoy being serious in the music business probably around my freshman or sophomore year of high school. I did not start making that attempt, however, until after my first year of college.
Your first year of college. Okay. How many years did you go to college?
I went for 2.5.
2.5.
Went to a private college for music education.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, you know what, the student teaching though, I got through my juries and stuff, I guess, they said in record time, but the student teaching just ended up putting me off to it.
Uh,
I decided I loved kids, I loved teaching, I loved music. I didn't do so well with parents. So,
I gotcha.
ironically enough, since I am one now, but
Now, when you were in college and taking those courses, do you think they didn't teach you what you have learned at this point, more or less street smarts in the music business?
oh, they don't prepare you for that at all. Um,
No, they don't.
no, I mean, so I was a double major, voice and violin, and from the vocal aspect, it was all classical. So it was
Okay.
juries on stage, different types of opera, um, learning what the different types of composers were, the eras. They never really got into the business of music. Um,
Mm,
and I think even if they did, it's changed so much since then that it would probably be irrelevant.
true. Very true. It's changing very much now with the internet and the platforms. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy out there. Okay, so you're out of college, getting on with life, having a family, and doing things like that and stuff. When did you decide? Well, was it around 2010 is when you decided to lay down some tracks of what you were written, or was it before then?
Yeah, it was. Hmm. Unofficially, I did some stuff on the side earlier than that. But the first time I got back into music was probably around 2010, 2011. I joined a local cover band out here, started performing with them, started going back in studio, mostly for parodies and things at that time. Uh,
Okay,
like I did a parody for a hand association meeting. I did one for a potential sports equipment commercial, which was like a Lion King parody type thing. I don't know whatever.
okay.
But yeah, that kind of stuff. And then I really got back into it for real around 2018 with my.
Oh, okay, okay. And it's taken right off, I see.
It's doing pretty good. I mean, I've been having a lot of fun with it, and I've made a lot of really cool connections with both musicians and people like yourself. And so it's been a very educational experience, but also very enjoyable.
Well, good. I'm glad you're at the point in life where you can enjoy it, do it your way, and have fun with it.
Yeah.
Because it can be a kind of a pain at the younger ages, I feel.
Yeah. Yeah. When you're younger, you definitely worry more about what people think than
Yeah.
become an adult. You've been around the sun a few times, and
Right.
you're like, I don't have enough time for this. I'm just gonna do it, and it either sticks or it doesn't.
Exactly. And that's the best way to do it. Do it your way. That's great. Okay, now let's talk about some music here. Now I've been listening to the music. It's great stuff. Great stuff you're putting out there. Loving it. So now, as far as the band goes, are you using the band that you're out there with, the Jet City Band, or is it just studio musicians covering you?
No, so I actually 2 years ago formed a band around Brandi Wyne specifically. Um,
Okay.
so they're the ones that end up doing gigs with me and touring and whatnot. So if we
Good.
do run into a situation where one of the members can't make it, we will, reach out and rent out another musician for that specific area. But for the most part, we've got a pretty good cohesive group, and I think we're at a point where it's finally solid. Like we're not going to have too many more member shifts.
Good. Good. I like it when it's rock solid and you don't have to worry. Nice. So now you just put out a new EP, didn't you?
Yeah, yeah. We just
Mm,
released our EP, Love, Loss, and Hope, in April, actually.
yeah, it's beautiful. And what was before that? Was it Split Personality?
So we had a single prior to that, and it was Smarter Than with Sony Orchard.
Okay.
Um, Split Personality was actually my first EP that I released. So that was back in
Oh,
2019, 20-ish, somewhere in there.
great stuff. I'm liking it. I'm liking it. So, can you tell me how many singles you got out there and how many EPs we have?
There's currently 3 EPs, 2 of original
Mm,
music, One is called Covers That Rock, and that is exactly what they are. They're covers that
Sweet.
put our own
That's
spin on.
nice.
Yeah, it was a test. We only did like 3 or 4 songs. We wanted to see how people would react. And it actually did really well. So we're looking into doing a full album with kind of the same thing. We have people who have been messaging in and giving us suggestions on songs they want to hear redone.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so it's
I
a
like
fun little
that.
side thing. And then as far as single releases, goodness, you caught me off guard with that one. It's been a while. Uh, I think we're up to 9.
9? That's good.
I
That's
believe.
very good. So 9.
I don't want to have to go back and go look at them all, but
No, don't do that. Don't do that. I can pull them up right here if I have to. So good deal. 9 of them. All right. Tell everybody out in podcast land the platforms they may find your music, your bio, your merchandise, and where you're playing if you are.
Oh goodness. Well, you can find our music on any streaming platform. We're pretty much everywhere. So Apple Music, Spotify, Deezer, whatever your preference is.
Nice.
Merch.
Good deal.
Yeah, merch right now is only, and gigs are through my website.
Okay.
And that's Brandi Wyne production. BrandiWineMusic.com. I need more coffee. And also you can find the links for a lot of our stuff on my artist page on the bigrecords.com site as well.
Okay, we'll talk about them in just a minute. We're going to continue. All right. Now I'm going to backtrack just a little bit because you mentioned that you were in orchestra and stuff like that. Which instruments do you play?
So the one that I focused on was violin.
Okay.
To be totally honest, it was not my first choice. I actually wanted to play cello and was very politely told that my hands are not large enough, so I wasn't going to be taught that. I was like, later, I went on to still learn some cello. It turned out I learned violin. The sister below me learned viola. The sister below her learned cello. So we're able to all kind of help each other out with that a bit.
Well, that's really cool. I like that. I like that. Okay. Now, you write all the songs and then bring it to the band?
Some of them, yes. Not all of them. I do collab with some other artists. And there's 1 or 2 where the band actually wasn't involved. Like there's one coming up that's called Blue Sky. It's going to be released hopefully in a couple of months. It was actually with a collab with someone in Nigeria. So
no.
It was really fun. It is not my normal style of music because it was more along the R&B track.
Okay.
But it was really pretty, and I was like, okay, yeah. So I did what they told me and added a little bit of my own stuff, and yeah, it's so like in those situations, the band doesn't really come in because I'm more or less just like a featured vocalist.
Okay.
But for the most part, I do try to let the band have their own say in how we record and how we do things. And when we play live too, I'm very much an advocate for trying out new things and new sounds. I figure if someone wants to hear the recording, they'll go at home and hear the recording. So we try to mix it up a little bit and change things in our performances to give the audience something new to listen to.
Beautiful. I like that. I like that. Now I'm going to jump down to this question right here. The videos you're on YouTube, I like those.
Oh, thank you.
Now, do you have somebody producing and doing that stuff for you, the editing and everything?
Yeah, we've worked with a couple of people. The covers typically I just throw together with how I can because we don't make anything off of those, even in streams. We don't get royalties for covers.
No.
But the originals, we've worked with Third Eye Open. We've worked with Dynamics Video. We are currently working with a gentleman for our next music video for Victim.
Okay.
His name's Tyler. So I'm sure whatever he wants that to be promoted as once it comes out, I will I will push it as. I don't want to say the wrong thing. But yeah, we want kind of like with our music, we want all our music videos to be a little bit different. So we've had Camelot Records in the UK actually do a lyric video for us. So we've got all different kinds of people.
Beautiful. I love it, especially the anime. And I want to talk about that in a little bit here because being in TV is very interesting. Very interesting. So Now let's jump to here. Now I was looking at here, looking there, and I'm looking at numbers, and I see you have a lot of fans that love what you're doing. How do you think of that?
It's growing. It's growing. I'm excited. I mean, I'm happy if even one person likes my music. So to have, thousands, it's really exciting. It makes me feel like what I'm doing really is making a difference.
It does. And you are making a difference. You are. And I'm going to touch on this right here. In listening to your music and reading your bio stuff, you talk about life stories and experiences.
Yeah.
And I like that. People need to hear that because you had a rocky road in life, like a lot of us do. And
Yeah.
you were able to get through it, and you're still moving through it, even though there's probably still some BS in life like we all have.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm proud of you.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I think it's important for people to know we're just people too. I mean,
Yeah.
you guys usually get to see the shiny, happy side of things, but we're normal human beings. We have all the same kinds of trials and problems and
Yes, we do. We do have the trials and tribulations like everybody else out there. Yes, we do. So let's go on to here. Now, I want to talk. You got your band for what you're doing. Now, talk to me about the Jet City Band.
oh goodness, they are such a fun group. We've had a few different members kind of rotate through. We actually just lost our bass player, David Fisher. He decided to move to Arizona with his wife, which then we just found out actually last night has now changed to Texas. So I don't know. We're trying to keep tabs. But they're a dance cover band. Tom Rashko is actually the one who kind of runs the group. He's also our lead guitarist.
Oh,
Wonderful gentleman. He's also the lead guitarist in Brandi Wyne, because when I start that up, I did everything I could to poach him. Very, very talented artist. And then we've got Jim on drums, and our friend John Bow is on the keys. Michael Ferranzi just joined us as our new bass player, but it's mostly dance music. So it's anything from like the 50s through like now. And requests on our Facebook page or at our gigs. So when people want to hear different songs, that way we add them to our rotation.
Oh, nice.
Sitting at about 160 songs right now that we can flip through. So
wow, that's great. 160 songs. You're getting people up on that floor and dancing.
The best of our abilities. Yeah. I mean, we keep it kind of mellow when we first start off because we want people to have a chance to get a little bit of liquid courage if they need it.
Exactly.
Pumped up for it. But yeah, a lot of 80s stuff. People still really love 80s music.
Yes, they do. You can't kill the 80s. No way. Now, tell me what studio you're using to produce your music.
My primary studio is Iron Grove Studios with my producer, Tyler Mays. He is a younger producer, but he's insanely talented. He's awards actually for production at some of these little, I guess they have kind of like we have music awards. They have like these conferences for producers.
Yes.
So yeah, he's gone to a few of those. And yeah, he's just been vital. Like he'll hear things I don't. He'll come up with an idea, and he's very patient with me, especially at like 6 a.m. in the morning, because sometimes that's the only time we can get in. So he's very tolerant of me, and I appreciate that beyond measure, especially when he has coffee waiting for me. But yeah, so he's my primary go-to. I've also worked with producer Greg Critchley, and he did one of the songs. He actually co-wrote one of the songs and was the producer for one of the songs on the EP that we just put out. And he's amazing artist. He used to be the drummer and helped write songs for Michelle Branch. And he's over on the East Coast now, so it's a little difficult to get out there, but luckily he can do things via Skype and kind of control the studio that way.
Well, cool. Good deal. It's nice to have good people in your corner, especially producers and engineers that can really make that music pop.
Yeah, they make a difference.
Good deal. Now, you mentioned you toured before, you play venues and stuff. Do you like smaller venues where the people are kind of on top of you, right in front of you, or do you like festivals, bigger venues where they're 10 feet out and you're on a stage?
Um, Personally, I actually really like the festivals. I like,
Yeah.
well, first off, it's a little bit selfish on my part, but it's easier. Um, the smaller venues, they're great. I love being able to talk to people during, after, before, but there's definitely a lot more pressure because you can see each and every individual person.
Yeah.
Whereas the festival, it's a sea. So it's so simple to just get into the music and do what you're doing. And because you can't really focus on one person. And to be totally honest, when those lights come on, you can't see anything. So
No, you can't.
you might as well at that point.
You just stare around. You don't know what you're looking at, but they're out there.
It's a
They're
gray
out there.
white blur, but I hear them. I know they're there.
They're somewhere. Oh, now do you get? Well, it seems like you're playing out quite a bit with both bands, right?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we try not to overdo it. I'm a mom. Our lead, one of our guitarists for Brandi Wyne is also a dad, and he's got 3 little ones.
Oh,
It's all about balance. We try to do what we can, and we try to make it as impactful as we can. So since we can't play out a ton, we always try not to play the same area more than once a month. We try to expand our reach as much as possible for a broader audience and for more people to be able to attend.
great, great. Now you mentioned tour. Well, the last tour you did, where did you go?
So the last one was actually just me. I didn't have my band with me. And it was kind of like I did a couple of venues in Oregon. I went to Ohio, and then came back. It wasn't super long. It was like a 4-day thing. And that actually was a good learning experience because it made me realize how much more I like having my band members with me. There's nothing wrong with playing to a backing track, but it definitely doesn't give you the same energy, and it's kind of lonely up on stage all by yourself.
Yeah, it is true. Yeah, and you got the kind of experience of being on the road too.
Yeah, and I did that a lot more when I was younger. When I played out with like the Girls or the Scrapes. So I kind of knew what I was getting into. It's not the TV glam that everybody tries to make it out to be.
No, it's not. No.
Bar or fast food, and by the time it's done, all you want is your bed.
All you want is that pillow. Yes, you do. That's great. Okay, now let's jump over here. Let's see. Got a lot of things to talk about, Brandi. This is great. You're wonderful. All right, now 2022 World Movement Records. You signed with them, didn't you?
I did. Yes.
Okay. Did they treat you all right? I'll kick some butt.
Yeah, I don't know how much of that I'm supposed to or allowed to disclose. I am actually
just say no.
So they were actually and again, it comes down to old school people in the industry that kind of, I don't know, they are stuck in their old ways, and
yes,
they thought intimidation was a way to get what they wanted. They were not very nice people. And actually I ended up leaving them early because of breach of contract. They weren't giving me my reports on my numbers.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Great.
So,
Great.
It happens. But the problem we're having now is actually, and I love my current label, Big Records has been absolutely fantastic and super supportive. World Movement is actually still trying to claim me. They still have me on the website. They refuse to take down my music. They're still trying to sell it on the side. It's kind of been a thing. So,
I can't handle that.
But you're going to run into kinds of people in this industry eventually. So yes. I take it as a learning experience, and we're doing our best to move forward.
It is. And I tell the younger musicians, it's like a growing tree. There's going to be a lot of branches, and which one you take is up to you. But you're going to run into a lot of people that are going to smile and promise you the world, but they don't.
Yeah. Well, and I'm still grateful to them. They honestly, if they had not picked me up, I was at a point in my life where I was thinking about stopping music.
Oh,
And maybe focusing on something else. And they gave me the encouragement, or the almost like the value in myself, to have the courage to keep pushing through and to see what else I could do. And so if anything else, they did help from that standpoint.
right.
So like I have no hard feelings in general towards them.
Good.
I wish they'd take my stuff down, but long
Right.
term,
Yeah. Right.
whatever.
Right. Exactly. Well, you mentioned big records and great people. I'm part of the family, but I'm still independent. But great people. I'm glad you're with them.
Yeah, no, everyone there has been super supportive. It's been a great, especially for like indie artists, to kind of get
Hmm.
you used to how things need to go, and different publicity options, and well, this is what you need to do to be able to do XYZ.
Yes.
So it's been very, very informative, and it's, yeah, everyone there is so patient and kind, like, and especially with me, because in text message I tend to be very just, hey, what is this, or da da da, and phone and text message, and they've all gotten used to, it's just Brandi, she's just asking a question. So I'm very grateful for that, because especially again with no coffee, stuff kind of comes up edgier than I mean it to. But
I hear you. I hear you. Because I do shows all, doesn't matter what time, day or night, because I do it all around the world. So, yeah, if you hit me in a bad moment, oh boy. The interview might go south. So,
I'm just very blunt. I just say what I think, and then later usually go, I probably could have that differently. Like, I don't ever mean to offend or come across as harsh or offensive, but sometimes just what I so blunt. They're like, "Are we good?" Yeah,
he's
we're fine. We're
gotta
fine.
protect
Having my
himself.
coffee.
That's funny. That's funny. Now, there's a couple things that caught my eye that I want to talk about, and it's got nothing to do with music, okay? Then we'll jump over to the music. Okay. Talk to me about these two things here. Mermaid and color.
Yes.
Let's talk.
I mean, they kind of go hand in hand if you really think about it, but um, yeah. So I have a bit of a mermaid addiction. So I'm a professional certified mermaid.
There you
Means we can do like shows in tanks, or birthday parties, that kind of stuff. Like I did some of that stuff before COVID.
go.
I'm
That's
actually
cool.
part of a pod out here in the Seattle area, which has over 200 members. So there's
Wow.
a lot of them kind of swim under the radar, pun intended. But we are here. We're all just as strange, and we all, we love it. And any opportunity I get, if I go somewhere warm like Hawaii or the
Oh
Bahamas,
boy.
that one of my tails will come with me. I do have to say one, because unfortunately there are multiple.
Now you answered my question because I was going to ask how.
Oh God, I have an addiction. Um, so tails are kind of like cars. You have your very basic low end like starter stuff, and then you have your Ferraris.
Okay.
I haven't quite gotten to a Ferrari yet, only because they're massively heavy. But I do have like the step below. So I have a two-piece silicone where like the dorsal fin goes inside of the silicone tail, and then it
Okay.
up, from Mert Taylor, which he is one of my favorite tail designers. But I mean, I've done photo shoots and gotten tails from like people in Bali, or in China, Taiwan. If they make it and they
Wow.
want to send it to me, I'm gonna take a picture in it for them, because it's a new tail.
That's a
So
new tale. I
yeah,
love it.
so I think I'm down to 14 at this
14.
point, I think. I mean,
Beautiful.
I know I have 8 monofins, and they're all different. But yeah, I think that's what I'm down to. I gave a bunch away to friends, and when I try to get more people involved in it. So if I have one I don't use as much or not into as much anymore, I usually like donate it and pass it along. Like, here, now you have one. Go swim with us more often. So
So you're part of the mermaid movement.
yeah, it's actually really, so I got into it initially because it was really good exercise. Apneic breathing is great for vocalists because it
Right.
helps respiration, lung strength, and then it's just a great core workout if you're doing it right. So
Well, yeah, I bet it is.
I'm sticking to it.
There you go. Well, you found it, and I love cosplayers. I think it's great. To do a reality escape.
Yeah, well, I'm a big anime nerd, so I have since I was a kid.
Well, that's
But I tell my kids I liked it before it was cool, and then my kids are like, "Mom, you're still not cool." I'm like, all right, well,
will never be cool.
yeah, moms aren't allowed to be cool. I think I've just come to this
No,
realization.
that's exactly it.
But yeah, both my kids do it with me. We go to the convention. I've gotten to sing a couple of times. The one we went to, our anime baby music video, actually, we recorded a bunch of it at SummerCon here in Seattle. And we had a bunch of volunteers who wanted to be a part of the music video. And so we went around and just recorded a whole bunch of people. We couldn't fit everybody into it, but the ones that we did were definitely worth it. It was so much fun.
I bet it was. It was a great time. Okay. Oh, that was great. I needed to know. Thank you for telling me that. So let's move on to some fun questions. Maybe you can get my wife one. I don't know.
Wait,
That's fun.
a costume or a mermaid tail?
I'm not answering. Okay. All right. Let's get back to some questions here. Now let's do some fun questions here. Now, this first question here, you get two answers. You get a person you pick that's alive and a person that has passed away. Who would you really want to perform with and grace the stage with?
Live Pink. She has been one of my ongoing inspirations as far as her shows. She always becomes more and more creative and bigger and better. Like the last show I went to hers, she was flying across the audience on moving silks.
I've seen that.
Yeah, she's done trapeze work. She is the epiphany of being a performer. So I think working with her, I would not only have fun, but I would grow leaps and bounds.
Oh, that's great.
Past, that would probably be Aretha Franklin.
Aretha.
Yeah, she's who I looked up to and who I kind of modeled my voice after when I was young and when I was growing up. Her and Disney princesses, but they're not real. So
Disney princesses, you gotta throw that in there. That's real. Don't blow it for everybody.
Yeah, they're real. I don't know.
They're real. Okay. You get two. Next question. You get two answers on this one. Anywhere in the world, and it's a big world, what two stages would you really want to perform on?
Oh goodness. That's a tough one. Grand Ole Opry in Nashville.
Oh, yes.
That would be one. Oh goodness. I don't know. That's tough. Like there's a lot of pretty cool stages out there. So
how about
probably Times Square, the stage they set up in Times Square for like New Year's Eve.
There you go. Times Square or Madison Square Garden. I could see you there.
Yeah, I think that would be a really fun experience.
That would be a great experience. And just put it on your bucket list because it can happen. Oh, yeah.
I saw the Aurora Borealis. I never thought that was going to happen. So anything is possible.
Everything is possible. You're moving mountains and pushing doors open. It's amazing. I'm loving it. I love watching it. Okay, a few more questions here. Yeah, we got time. All right, I love this answer on this question. So whether you're performing with your band or the Jet City band, when you get on stage in front of that microphone, the band starts playing, you start singing, people start moving towards you, possibly dancing, moving, possibly singing your music to you. You see that, how's it hitting your heart and making it feel?
Oh my gosh, it is so hard not to cry when that happens. To have people who actually, truly enjoy us being there and performing, and to see them happy and enjoying themselves, it's an amazing feeling. there's really nothing like it.
There isn't. And it's what's nice is you don't ever forget those moments, no matter if there's a million of them. You remember every one of them.
Yeah. Oh, I think the most touching thing I've ever seen was one of our friends sent us a recording. He caught his daughter. She was like brushing her hair or something in the bathroom, and she was singing along to Return to Sender with her headphones in. And this girl's, and I just about melted. I was like, oh my God, that's so cute.
It's amazing. I mean, back in the 80s when I played it, I had to turn around and then kind of compose myself and then turn back around. Oh, shoot. That's great. That's a great answer. Okay. Now, I don't know if this happened to you, but you've been doing this long enough, being in the business, and this usually happens to my rockers or metalheads. Mm-hmm. Any embarrassing moments on stage?
Oh, goodness. Well, let's see. At the Seattle Music Awards, I actually ended up having to go on stage barefoot because my heels kept getting caught on the stage carpet, and I almost fell flat on my face walking out.
Oh, that's not good.
I don't think anybody caught it because I was still kind of towards the wing. I mean, I could be wrong, but yeah. So I had to kind of quickly go out and was like, "Hey, yeah, so no shoes because they're not working so well. So shorty short today. Sorry." And just trying to move forward.
Yeah, keep doing it.
But yeah, I mean, we've had stuff like that. My guitarist has had a total of 3 strings snap in the middle of a song before.
Ouch.
Yeah, that was, and his other guitar was tuned down. So he was like, oh crap. So all of a sudden we're like, what happened to our guitar line? We look over and he's shrugging and grinning as he's trying to play on 3 strings. And I'm like, oh, okay.
This show must go on. That's funny.
Part of it, and you laugh it off and, chalk it up to a new earned memory.
Exactly. It's experience. Oh, okay. Now this question here, and I know you probably got several answers to this one. Memorable moments that stand out in the business.
So one of the biggest is probably going to be, so I never really did the music award thing until last year.
Right.
My first one was with a group called the International Singer-Songwriters Association, so ISSAs.
Yes. Great people.
They are. They're very nice people. I definitely was not expecting to win anything my first year. And I remember I was recording for all the people who, couldn't attend the event, live streaming, and they called my name and I was so shocked I dropped my phone and the entire live stream ended.
No.
So that one definitely sticks in my head. And then having this whole speech that they tell us, make sure you're prepared. And I thought of what I was going to say, and then you get up there and you're like, oh shoot.
Blah 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 blah.
Not sure. Yeah. So I mean, and I remember try to feral cats or something if we went too long. So I was like, okay, got to say something quick.
Oh, that's great.
But yeah, probably that was, and I mean, they don't do a whole lot for musicians having awards, but it definitely gives you a little bit of a confidence boost.
Yeah, it is. It's a nice pat on the back.
Yeah, and I see that other artists appreciated and liked my music too. It was like, oh, okay, hey, this is pretty cool. I guess I don't. Awesome.
Right, and you get to meet and connect with a lot of the musicians and business industry people.
Yeah. I mean, they had the whole red carpet set up, and
okay, that's great. So now, since you won last year, now you're a judge this year.
I am, and I just finished my judges panel going through everybody's music yesterday.
Mm-hmm. And did you happen to see? Now I'm just going to hit you here. Did you happen to see my name and put a good word in?
I'm pretty sure I'm not supposed to say one way or the other.
Darn it! Oh, I was so close. Close.
I cannot comment. It was perceived, but no. It does become difficult because you do end up meeting and make a lot of these other artists. But it was a lot of music. It took me about 6 hours.
There was. It is. And I had a pleasure to talk to a lot of the ISA nominees and stuff. It's great. Great people.
Yeah,
great
yeah.
people.
Being a judge, it's interesting because you have to really remain impartial
Oh yeah.
and to remember that even if it's not your genre, I did some research before going into um placing votes and listening to everybody's music. 'Cause, like, I'm not really well versed in rap, or I'm not really well versed in country.
Okay.
I was trying to figure out what the different kinds of country were and what, you know, dictated
Hmm.
the sound, and because I wanted to be as fair as possible. So it was like a week of research and trying to double check what's what on what categories, and yeah. And then it's just because you have to make like little scores as you go on what you
Okay.
thought about them, and then pick your like top however many, and then go back and re-listen to them and make sure that's what you still think. And
Nice. I like that. I used to do Battle of the Bands once in a while for radio stations, and that was fun. Yeah.
yeah, it's a fun experience. But yeah, you get a little nervous because you're like, oh, I got to be as fair as possible. Like these people are, one vote can sway something one way or the other.
Yeah.
So
Yes, it can. It can. I'm going to jump over to this question here that I wanted to ask earlier. Have you touched into voiceovers and doing any sync licensing?
um I have submitted for a little bit of sync licensing. Um
Okay.
One of our songs that's coming out in the fall, it's called Shadows, was written for the new Batman movie. It was actually submitted for that.
Nice.
So
Beautiful.
we
Well,
haven't heard anything one way or the other yet. We're still waiting. Apparently the music is the dead last thing that they do. So
yeah. Yeah. There's a lot that goes into the movies with, well, you read the credit of the score, you see everything that goes into making a movie. Oh,
right,
boy.
that's
Yes.
what I'm waiting on. But
Mm. Well, I hope that you get it. I really do. So let's see, we're at 42 minutes. We got a few minutes left. Let's touch on a couple songs. Now, I've got quite a few I'd like to talk about, but we don't have much time. But let's talk about Anime Baby. I love it because of the animation. It's pop rock. It's on the new EP. It really kicks ass.
yeah, it's a really fun song.
It
Um,
is.
I kind of wanted to do something a little bit more upbeat and lighthearted. Um, Make it like a summer bouncy type song that you listen to while you're driving down, the road with
Yeah,
your window.
well,
Um,
that's what it is.
yeah. So it was really fun. And it was fun to share that kind of side of what I do, more in with the music rather than just the stage performance.
Right.
Um,
I love it. Totally. Let's get to one more song here. And eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Let's pick this one. Smarter Than.
yeah. So that one, it does not have such a happy story behind it.
Mhm. Well, I hear grunge rock and pop mixed in.
Yeah. It was meant to be more of a grunge rock type sound. Um, it actually was written shortly after my divorce.
Okay.
Uh, my significant other, whatever you want to call him, ex, was making it seem like he wanted to get back together. But then I
Hmm.
found out through a friend that actually works alongside him that he was dating like this other girl at the same time. And I was like, oh, you think you're so smart, huh? I was like, and that's where I'm like, well, I'm smarter than you think I am. And I was like, hey, that would actually be wrong. Like the title was a little long, so we had to shorten it. But just kind of built it around that and had fun with it.
Well, good. I'm glad you had fun with it. Make a negative into a positive.
Anytime,
Definitely.
that's the goal.
That's definitely a gold gray. We're at 44 minutes, Brandy. We're out of time, it looks like. I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for coming on the podcast today. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. It's always a ton of fun getting to talk to you and catch up on what's been going on.
Oh, definitely. And I want you back in 6 months to a year. I want to see what's new and what's coming out, singles or a new EP, and what's going on with the band and everything.
Right.
One quick question. What do you see in the next 5 years?
Oh goodness. Well, we are looking forward to possibly performing at the Invictus Games.
Oh, yeah.
We are hoping to set up some larger tours, and we are working on opening for some larger artists. So, I mean, hopefully it's just going to be more of the same and just slightly larger stages and more
Great.
options. So,
Great. All right, Brandi. Well, everybody in podcast land, do me a favor and check out Brandi Wyne out in the Seattle area, whether she's with the Jet City Band or her own band, the Brandi Wyne Band. Check out her music. You're going to love it. You're going to dance to it. You might cry to it, but check it out and go up and visit Brandi. She likes to talk to the people, don't you? You don't bite too hard, do you?
I'm a little bit of a chatterbox, so the hard part is to shut
up. That's okay, Brandi. Oh, that's great. Well, again, I thank you. So I'm going to get this all set to the platforms. In about 5 minutes, it'll be on the platforms, and I will send you a link, my friend. Okay?
Thank you so much. I greatly appreciate it.
We will stay in contact. You need anything business-wise or anything, you let me know. I'm always there for my musicians.
Will do. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Brandi, and everybody out there in podcast land. Thank you very much. Check out the past shows, future shows, and especially this shows, and go check out Brandi Wyne's music. Thank you, Brandi. Have a good one. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Okay.